It's no secret, people don't work 100% efficiently. In a typical 9 to 5 job, studies have shown that people only work about 2 to 3 hours per day. And as someone who's actually worked a 9 to 5, I think 30% is generous. People say they're working 40 hours a week, but in reality they're working less than 10. Only effective work hours count. This video is how you can do 10 plus hours of effective work, but in a 14 to 15 hour work day. We can never do 100% efficiency, that is impossible. But you can do more in one day than a normal person does in an entire week. Hey, I'm Ethan, and as entrepreneurs, we have to work hard and smart, but hard. For many years, we have to work our ass off, grinding away if we want to achieve something awesome. It can be very hard to do this at times, and admittedly, I don't do these 10, 11, 12 hour productive days every single day. That is impossible unless you have big systems behind you in play. But I normally get about 2 or 3 days a week working at that level. And then the rest is normally about 5 to 8 hours of effective work. Now, procrastination is something I have really struggled with in the past. It has been a weakness of mine. Many weeks would go by and I would barely be able to get 1 or 2 hours done in a single day. But after many years, I have figured out a system now that works for me. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do in order to be able to grind it out. Apparently people like to work backwards down lists. So we're going to start at number 8. Flow states. You've all heard about flow states before. You know, it tends to be with those creative types or problem solving types. You know, coders or artists or engineers or musicians who just get in the zone and they just fire away for like 17 hours straight, no food, no breaks. They're just in this flow state. So when you're trying to do a massive work hour day, you need to be applying some of the principles of flow states in order for you to work effectively. Initial research into flow states was done by this guy Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. One second.
Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
So you need to be doing a task that is challenging enough that rewards you for doing it, but not too difficult that you get frustrated and give up. The challenge is matched to your skill level, and as you grow, the bigger challenges you can tackle. Here's a quote by Jean
Nakamura.
Inducing flow is about the balance between the level of skill and the size of the challenge at hand. 7, you need goals. You need a big, massive goal that you're achieving. You know, it has to be purposeful and meaningful. It has to really drive you, this goal, right? If it isn't important to you, you're never going to be motivated to want to go towards it. It's a long-term goal. It's not like I'm going to succeed overnight. You know, it can be over the course of a year or 3-year period. Then you need a short-term goal. What are you trying to do today? What is the one thing you're trying to do today? It needs to be a task that can basically take up the whole day. So for me, it could be like filming and editing and putting out this video. That's probably a full day's process, a full day of work for me. It'll take me at least 10 hours. Tasks aren't going to take 10 hours. You can have 2 5-hour tasks, etc. But it's important that they get done by the end of today. Today is your deadline. That makes a difference. Otherwise, you'll just put it off till tomorrow. You know, there's no consequences to breaking that deadline. It's not like we are working for ourselves here. So there's no school teacher coming to whip you for not handing in your homework. The pressure is entirely down to you. You set the deadline. I'm going to achieve this by the end of today. And then you make sure you get there. And you work into the wee hours if you have to. 6, track your tasks. Use a notepad and write it down, or you can use one of the online ones like Trello, or one of my favorite ones which gamifies the whole thing is called Habitica. check it out. It's like an RPG and you get like prizes and rewards for doing your tasks. Very fun. Turns working into playing a video game. Number 5 is to track your hours. I use this web app called Clockify. It's free. You just put in what task you're doing on what project and you click start, and every time you are working, doing productive work, you're on the clock. And anytime you stop, you take a break, you look at your phone, you scroll on Instagram, you go to the toilet, you go get food, you stop the clock. You're not on the clock anymore. You're now not in productive work. Only productive work counts, and then you track your hours on Clockify. What gets tracked gets improved. You'll be shocked at how little hours you actually work. Number 4 is to take your phone, stick it on airplane mode, and then put it in a different room or in a hard to reach place, or in fact turn it off altogether. You're not allowed to check your phone until you have completed your tasks. You need to be doing some social distancing from your phone. Number 3, oxygen and CO2. CO2 builds up in your room as you breathe out, and this has significant effect on your cognitive ability. It directly slows brain function. Studies have been done, and when CO2 levels go over 1,000 parts per million, your brain function decreases by 15%. At 1,400 parts per million, it's down to 50%. At 2,000, there's many negative side effects. And get this, in our bedrooms or our home offices where most of us are working, it gets above 4,000 parts per million. So you can only imagine what that is doing to your brain. It will significantly impact your ability to work. You can watch this video here on Tom Scott's channel by Curtis Bouty to learn more. This is where I got all the information from. The links are in the bio. And links to the research are in his video. Solution? Open the goddamn window! Or perhaps just cover your entire desk in plants. That should about do. Number 2 is music. Music has such powerful effects on your brain. And there's this website called Brain FM. I don't recommend using it because all it is a synthwave mix. A synthwave mix, go find them on YouTube. A synthwave mix, and it's a bit more distracting than them though, because the dynamic levels in the songs are a bit more out there. I found it less helpful than just using the synthwave tracks I was already listening to on YouTube. But there is clearly some scientific evidence there, because it's not just a random track. They're doing studies on it and what is the most effective for people, and this synthwave type track is clearly it. And the music works more than that. It creates this bubble around you, and it keeps you in this focus. You don't hear anything else. It removes distractions from you. I find it very, very useful. And whenever my focus is being pulled, it's the music then that will pull me back into the work. I may get drawn into the music, do a little drum solo, and then get right back into working. I've also used just one song on repeat for many, many, many hours. And it definitely was not 4.5 hours straight of pure annoying cat. And the last one is sleep. You need to get a decent amount of sleep. And you need to do sleep patterns that work for you. A lot of people are all about these morning routines. Forget about that if you're a night owl like me, because go with your natural sleep cycle. You can Google them, a sleep chronotype. So some people, about 15 to 20% of the population, are morning people. They should be going into the morning, working in the morning, doing that effective stuff there. And the vast majority are in the middle. They go a bit way on each end. And then there's people like me who are 15-20% of the population, and we are night owls. We cannot function in the morning, but our brains are alive and awake at 3 a.m. So for me, I don't get up at 5 a.m. That's ridiculous. I get up a bit later and then I will work until maybe 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. But the point is, get some sleep and do what works for you. If you're an evening person, that's great. Work until the wee hours of the morning where your brain is nice and active. If you're a crazy morning person, you are a mystery to me. But you do you, and I will just continue to pound down ridiculous amounts of caffeine to turn my brain on. And then I will continue to consume even more just to keep it working. 8 cups a day. Okay, just one last bonus tip here, and this may be the best one yet. delete TikTok from your phone. Just completely remove it from your life. It will consume your time faster than the Cookie Monster in a McVitie's factory. And I'd appreciate your subscription if you found this helpful. Thanks, guys, and have a fabulous day.